So thank you so much, ladies, for coming today. Yeah, so let me just introduce myself quickly for those people who do not know me. So my name is Vida, and I'm 48 years old, and I've been in Dubai for the last 27 years, 25 years, and I have two children, and I've been in the corporate environment for the last 27 years, 2 years in Philippines and 24 years here in Dubai. And for the last 1 year, when I lost my job from corporate, I used to work in KHTA as a finance professional there. And so I focused mainly on therapies, learning family constellations, completing integrated clinical hypnotherapy. And in the last 5 years also, I've also learned different healing modalities. So I started learning energy healing. So I'm actually an Angelic Reiki master. So which is basically it's using energy and channeling the energies of the angelic kingdom of light and the ascended masters. If you ask me, have I seen any angels? No. Sometimes I feel energy when I close my eyes. Sometimes I see lights, but it doesn't matter if you can see. Sometimes I feel this influx of energies, but the main thing is that I am not the healer. I'm just channeling energies, just because I have learned the technique, and you can also learn it for yourself so that you can use it for your own self healing. Then I have done transcendental quantum Reiki. This is also energy healing using quantum energy. Anybody can learn this as well. So I'm actually planning to do mini sessions in the future to introduce this, and to teach a lot of people about the basic healing that they can do for themselves. You don't have to learn the whole modality to learn these techniques for your resources. I love empowering people. And what else? So I've learned Theta Healing also, which is basically healing by connecting to the creator of all that is. Yeah. I mean, we call it God, we call it source energy, we can call it some people say universe, but it's basically the highest form of energy. The energy that exists in me exists in you as well. The energy that is in plants and all the other things around us in the universe, it's basically the energy coming from the source. Then I learned family constellations and inner child healing. So the idea of family constellations, by the way, if you wish to ask or stop me, I mean, like, please do so, yeah, so that we can make it an interactive session. So family constellation is a therapeutic modality. Okay, the man who founded this or who created this modality is a German psychotherapist. He also worked as a Catholic priest for 25 years. So he was into medical field, and he did a lot of this different medical scientific therapies, and then created this beautiful modality, which is basically a modality which works on a heart and soul dynamics. I mean, it's beyond human understanding. But definitely, when I learned it, I needed to learn and read all the books just so I understand, what is happening. But it's a very experiential kind of therapy. When you do the therapy itself is the healing. And so what is it basically? Yeah, I mean, if you think about any system that has different roles and dynamics of each member. In family constellations, we look at the family system. Yeah, and so there are different members of the family. And when we talk about family systems, the rule here is that nobody gets excluded. And even in business constellation, I also do it for corporation. If you have your own individual businesses, we can do also your own constellation to look at what's probably not causing why you are not getting clients, why your profit is not, why you're not realizing profits. And in family constellations, we look at the relationship dynamics, who has been excluded in the family, and everybody who is connected to the family system. Yeah. And there are three principles that we follow, which is basically called the three orders or three laws of love. So family constellation, the main the main goal is to restore love. And whenever there is a disruption, or a break in the bond in any of the family members, the flow of love stops. And it doesn't matter if it stops with us or from our parents, it could be from our ancestors. So family constellation actually can look at ancestral trauma, transgenerational, and intergenerational trauma. Like we inherit trauma of our ancestor to our DNA. But the good news is that trauma can be inherited. Recovery and healing can also be inherited. Yeah. So because trauma work on a cellular level. Yeah. I mean, if you went through a traumatic incident and you felt overwhelmed, so this the effect is actually stored in our cellular memory. And then when you start healing yourself, there's a change in cellular structure. So when you go for a therapy or any kind of healing, whether it's a scientific based kind of therapy, energy healing, any forms of healing, you may realize that after the healing session, you will feel very sleepy. You may feel very drained and tired. Sometimes you will develop flu-like symptoms, and that's very usual to happen. Why? Because when you heal, your cellular structure also changes. So in the same way that when you have experienced trauma in your body, it changes your molecular structure, your cellular structure. So healing does the same thing as well. So why do they say that healing can be passed on? Healing can be passed on because cells do talk to each other. So when you heal yourself, you don't have to ask for permission from other people around you. For example, if you're having issues with your spouse or your parents, you can do an individual session with any facilitator, and it does not only relate to family constellations. Yeah, any form of healing that you do, trust me that it's going to change your energy. And because you change your energy, everything around you changes as well. Now, is healing for everyone? Yeah, healing is for everyone. We all deserve to heal. But same time, we have to acknowledge that there are some people who do not wish to heal. And sometimes we see them as wanting to heal, but they are not healing. Because healing is more like a personal relationship with your creator, right? I mean, like for me, although I say that I do healing session, I am just but a channel or a medium for the session. It's your willingness to heal yourself and people around you that will do the healing for you and for others. And for those mothers who have young children, you can do constellation for them. You can come and then we can constellate for them. But for those who are 18 and above, they have to do their own constellation. You cannot, because we work in the law of free will, right? Free will and choice. So we cannot tamper on the journey of the other people. And so there's a lot of, oh, I forgot. So what I was saying earlier, that the three laws of order of love. So number one is belongingness. Yeah, everybody is included in the universe. Nobody gets excluded. So in family constellation, we look for those family members who have been excluded. So first, who are included in the family system? Yeah. So if you look at our level, we are children, right? Let me just and so okay. So on our level as children, we are all children of our parents, right? Is there anybody who's not a child of their parents? I don't think so. So we are all children of our parents. So in our level, who is included are our siblings. Yeah. And so it doesn't matter if they have passed on or they're still alive. So that means that those who have been aborted by our parents, those have experienced miscarriage, will also have to be included. Yeah. So it's very important that everybody gets acknowledged. And then on the other level before us, our parents. So that would include their siblings, and also those who were aborted, miscarriage by their parents. And it could also be those who have suffered from early death. So basically everybody in the system. And I just remember that in the level of our parents, how do we call it? The partners, any partners, whether our parent, either one or two of the parents have had relationships in the past prior to the existing or the current relationship, they also need to be included in the family system. And then we have the grandparents. So we also look at if they had exes, and especially if there were first marriages before the second one. Yeah. Regardless if it was a traumatic marriage or not, it does not matter. So everybody gets to be acknowledged in the system. So why is it very important in family constellations to acknowledge everyone in the system? Because the belief in this family constellation is that whenever somebody gets excluded, whether in which level it is from our parents, or it could be as far as like 8 generation before us, whenever those ancestors or an event, a scandal, could be homosexuality as well. Yeah, any subject or scandal or secret which had not been recognized, yeah, or hidden under the carpet, they will manifest in the current generation. So they will manifest as sicknesses. They could manifest as not being able to retain relationship. They can also manifest as not being able to attract lifelong partners or stable relationship. They can also show up as conflicts. Yeah. So it's possible that a couple will have, it's possible that, for example, a wife can have inexplainable anger towards the husband. And regardless of how the husband is so nice and kind and loving, the woman is not able to reciprocate that. And, she just exhibit irrational anger. When we do family constellation, we may discover that the wife is actually having hidden loyalty towards an ancestor. It could be a grandma who's so angry with her husband, yeah, the grandfather who cheated on her. And so there's a lot of things that we can discover through family constellation. So so belongingness is very important. And then one thing to remember also is like sometimes we feel this irrational sorrow. Maybe somebody hurt us and we feel so sad, but then for days we're not able to come out of that sadness, or it's just lingering sadness, or any strong emotion that is lingering. You have to ask yourself, am I just carrying the pain at this moment because of what happened recently? Or is it could be from your childhood as well? Yeah, most of the time we don't even have to look at the ancestors. We have a lot of our childhood trauma. And when we talk about trauma, it doesn't mean that you have been beaten up physically, emotionally. A lot of times it's just like our parents have gone through traumatic moments in their lives. We look at them and we carry it. Yeah. There's one study that was made as well for the ladies. I don't know if you've read about it. Yeah. Our grandmothers, when our grandmothers have carried our mothers in their womb, and I believe it's like from 4 months old, that our mothers as a 4-month-old baby in the womb already started having these gonads. Yeah. It's like, just for simplicity, she starts to carry her eggs, right? That will be fertilized by our father later on. So just imagine that at 4 months old in the womb, our mothers at 4 months old, baby in the womb, we are already existing. So there is in science what you call epigenetics. Yeah. So whatever is happening at grandma, Yeah, if grandfather probably was a very playful man and probably had affairs or whatever it was that was going on with him, and the mother was upset and frustrated, and our grandmother, okay, it's most likely that those trauma will be passed on to our mothers, yeah, when she's 4-month-old baby in the womb. And then most likely we will also be carrying those trauma because of our love and loyalty to our mothers. Yeah. So all this can be, I mean, you can do your own research and read about epigenetics. You can read about metaphysical anatomy of diseases, and you will learn so much about these things. There's also a book which is called "It Did Not Start with Us," the biology of beliefs. You know, there's so many scientific studies that are to back up that, you know, that we carry ancestral trauma, just for the simple fact that, you know, we carry our ancestors' DNA, right? But at the same time, when I say that, I just want to focus also and remind you that if we can inherit trauma, we can also pass on healing. Like, let the trauma stop in our generation, stop with us, yeah, and not allow this to get passed on to our children. So now, if you already have your children, you can still work on yourself, because trust me that when you change your energy around you changes as well, and you will see the benefit in your family members around you, even if they're not living with you, because we are all connected as energetic bodies. Okay, so second law of love is order of love is hierarchy and order, which means that people who have family members who have come before us, they're actually bigger than us. It also means that they carry more responsibility than us. Yeah, and there's a certain hierarchy that we follow. So for families, if you just notice it as well, you know, like men usually stand on our right and the wives are on the left side. Yeah, and then towards our left side is our firstborn, secondborn. And when we talk about our children in family constellation, we have to acknowledge also those who have been aborted and miscarriage. Yeah. So for example, in my family, I only found out that there was a miscarriage before me. And that actually explained why sometimes I feel this sadness and as if something is missing in my life, and I didn't find out until I did a family constellation. So my mother should actually say, yeah, she has 6 children, yeah, and one passed away, yeah, which is the miscarriage one. And in the hierarchy, we have to acknowledge who's the first one, second one. So I am so I'm actually the middle child in the 5 children, yeah. So now that I know, I'm actually not the third one. I am the fourth one, because the third one was the miscarriage child. So all these things who has been excluded in the family system, can be discovered in the family constellation session. Yeah. And so what is another law? This is the law of the balance of give and take. Yeah. This is also related to the order and the hierarchy. So for our parents, they are meant to give us. Yeah, we are meant to be receiving only from our parents. So just imagine that our parents' responsibility to send us to university, you know, I mean, basically to give us food, shelter, and all these things, you know, until we're able to take care of ourselves. And so there was a question in my class, you know, when I was learning this, I said, what about for Asian people like me? Because we are so used to giving our parents money. And the teacher said that it's all right as long as you give from the heart, as long as you give out of love, not to manipulate, not to control your parents. Yeah. So we cannot be like when we grow up and our parents are in their advanced age. If they still have their cognitive skills and they can communicate what they want, please ask them and respect them for their decisions. Yeah. So we cannot just decide on their behalf. Unless they specifically say that it's okay, but still, there will be an imbalance that's going to happen. So when I say that, for couples, the balance of give and take is the same. Yeah, they should equally give and take. The person who is receiving more will tend to develop guilt, because it's just usual, right? If you have a friend, and friends also should have a balance of give and take. So just imagine a friend who's always treating you out and buying you gifts. Sometimes you feel guilty that you're not able to give back, right? Or you have this guilt, like, you know what, I want to give back. Yeah, and when we give back, you want actually to give back more. So that's more on the giving side of good things. What about when one of the spouses hurt us? Yeah. So for example, cheating, betrayal, I don't know what else can be reason for hurting us, disrespect, anything. But the most common one is having one of the spouses having an affair, right? So there's a question of, can love still be restored in the relationship? Yes, definitely. Yeah, but it requires a lot of work on both sides, because the person do you call it betrayer? The person who betrayed the spouse, the other spouse, he or she is uh, obliged actually to uh, to give up something of value from his side. Yeah. So if this person who intentionally hurt the other spouse, for example, it was me, I was having an affair, and I wanted to go back to my partner. So I have to give, in order for love to be restored in our relationship, first I have to be remorseful, right? So I have to feel sorry for what I have done, and like really mean it. By the way, we don't ask for forgiveness. We don't also give forgiveness in family constellation, because it's just, I'll explain it to you later on. So if I have hurt my spouse or my partner, I have to give something back to him to find that balance in the family systems again. Yeah. So let's say I like going out with the girls, or I love dancing, once a week. So I must choose which one to give. And it's something that will probably hurt me for giving it up, because when you commit a mistake to your partner, you're actually hurting the other party, right? So it's like you took something from that person. So you want to give back by taking something away from you, by giving back something which is this is of course happening energetically, right? Giving up something of real value to you. Yeah. And I mentioned about forgiveness. And with regard to forgiveness, the concept of forgiveness in family constellation is, what is forgiveness? I know in religion, and I come from a Catholic background, they always say forgive, forgive. What did they say? Forgive like 77 times, something like that. So it's a very religious kind of principle, right? But just imagine asking for forgiveness, yeah. So for example, I was the one who made a mistake. So it's like, please forgive me, yeah. So if you see my hand, it's like I'm taking again, right? I've already hurt my partner, and then again I'm asking something from him, so that's like double jeopardy. uh so ideally what I should do is I should be remorseful. Okay, we cannot do away with forgiveness, because everybody talks about forgiveness, but we are not meant to ask for it. So it is freely given. If the other party feels like forgiving us, meaning, so what is forgiveness? It's accepting that a mistake happened. It's accepting that that party who committed the mistake will bear the consequences of his or her action. That is forgiveness. Okay, so in family constellations, when we do the sessions, there's a lot of healing sentences. Yeah. So it's good to have an awareness of the issues. Where are they coming from and why did they happen? So any disorder in this order of love, somebody was not recognized. For example, those who have been aborted, miscarriage, or It could be in the form of a family member experience early death, So what is the effect on that to other family members? It could be that not being able to process grief. And we have learned that up to 30 years old, that's still considered as child, and it's not, and that person will not be able to, may not be able to process grief. Yeah. Personally, I feel that grief affects everyone. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's one lady that I have seen a few days ago, and she is in her 60s. And she said that, for a year now, she's not able to accept that her mother has passed away. And she wanted to go with her mother. Yeah, die. She wants to die as well. And so when I did a constellation for her, I made her imagine that she's in front of her mother and the mother is in the hospital bed. That was the last time that she saw her mother. And I asked her to lie down next to her mother. It was very difficult for her to process that, but it was very helpful to do that, because that's when the healing happened. She started accepting, and it was not easy to accept, but I made her say, because she wanted to go with her mother. So I just say, "Mother, I'm coming with you." So we do two types of healing sentences in family constellation therapy. So one is a reality statement. Yeah. So the idea of this family statement is there's a lot of emotions, thoughts, feelings that we have towards another person. And a lot of times we are repressing them, right? By the way, this morning I learned the difference of suppression and repression. Suppression is when you are voluntarily suppressing or hiding, forgetting, ignoring your emotions. Yeah, that's suppressing. And after a period of time, when you're so used to suppressing, these emotions become repressed. So repressed emotions are basically unprocessed emotions that we are carrying. Yeah. So in reality statements, we just need to acknowledge that. So even when you go for therapy with psychologists and I don't know who are the other therapists as well, what they will ask you to do is just to acknowledge what you feel in you. So when early in the meeting, I asked you, I suggested that every morning you ask yourself, how do I feel physically, emotionally, mentally? So when I say do not judge it, do not say that, oh, I'm so stupid for feeling this way and why I haven't recovered yet, why I haven't moved on. But what you can do is just acknowledge that you are feeling a certain emotion, especially a strong emotion. And I'm going to suggest you a technique on how to acknowledge your emotion. So whenever you are feeling a certain emotion, whatever it is, yeah, so because it's very important to acknowledge it. So you say, feel I feel angry towards whatever, yeah. Or I feel angry, and then you set and you put the timing right now. Because just compare the energy of I'm feeling angry right now versus I am angry. I am not angry, I'm Vida. Joke. But you've seen the difference, right? When you say I feel angry or angered, not right now, it means that inherently it's like I'm telling myself that, you know what, later on I will not feel angry anymore. Yeah. So you can practice that with any kinds of emotion that you have, but it's very important to express, to acknowledge that you are feeling that way. Okay. And then so where are we now? So acknowledging emotions, which is very important. Yeah, the second type of healing sentence is relating to the restoration of order. So for example, if a family member got excluded, we say, I see you now. Yeah, that's acknowledging also the presence of that family member in the system. I see you now. I acknowledge you. And I'm small and you are big. Yeah, we say these things later on. You will understand why do we say these things. Because sometimes as children, we assume through hidden love and loyalties, we assume some roles of that are coming from our parents. It's not just the roles that we assume. We also assume their sufferings. For example, if a mother has her father passed away when she was young and she was not, or even when she was in university and she was not able to come home on time, to see her father dying or not being able to attend his funeral. So there's like could be a repressed grief there, or unprocessed grief, right? And that has got a huge effect on the mother. Of course, somebody who's carrying grief would have the sorrow, deep sorrow, and maybe that person will always be sad. Yeah. So when the children sees the parents, and there's this belief also in family systems that children love their parents more than the parents love their children. It does not mean that the parents love their children less. It's just that we as children love our parents so much. Yeah. And I'll give you one example. So whatever issues the parents are having, they should, for example, especially if it's relating to the even if with the father, yeah, so, or to the partner. So I'm separated, yeah. I mean, like I did my annulment with my husband. So every now and then I get into a relationship. So I must not share any information about that. Of course, it's okay to say, yeah, this is my partner or this is my boyfriend. But whenever I go through any quarrel, arguments, or any issues that I have relating to this boyfriend, I must not share it with my daughter or my son. Yeah. Because what happens is that whenever I do that and they become my friends, first, they are not our friends. Our children are not our friends. It does not mean that we become unfriendly towards them. It just says that you need to have that boundary, that whatever business you have with your partner, with your spouse, you should not pass it on to the children, because children are very sensitive. Yeah. Sometimes you tell them this, oh yeah, he hurt me, he did this, or he's not giving me money, or whatever complaint that you have with your partner, or even if it's the child's father. Okay. The children do not have anything to do with the business of the parents. And that's very important, because a lot of times when we kiss and make up with our partners, spouses, yeah, boyfriends, we're fine, right? But the effect in the children is still there. They are still carrying that hurt. So we don't want to traumatize our children because of our own behavior. So if there's something that you can take from this session, is just be mindful about what you share with your children. Okay. I mean, we have girlfriends, right? And you can go for therapy if you don't have girlfriends, and tell the therapist or the friends everything that you wish to say. But do not dump your complaints or your issues with your children. And so that's one thing. And in the so basically so any disorder that's happening, coming from the disorder on the law of belonging, law of hierarchy and order, and then the law of give and take, that causes disorder in the family, and it causes illnesses, it results to illnesses, it results to conflict in relationship dynamics. Yeah. And it also results to loss of job. It could be not being able to find jobs, not being able to materialize financial gains. So there's so many things. So family constellation actually can look at any issue that you have. Yeah. And it all go back to the family of origin. So we do family constellation to correct this, to restore the balance. Yeah. And when we say restore the balance in the system, it's actually restoring the love in the family system. Okay. So there's a lot of healing that is involved here. And what is required from us is an openness and a willingness to look at what has caused the disorder. So a lot of times clients would come to know of secrets in the family. Like, I know that there was this client who discovered that her husband is having an affair because we saw it in the family constellation. So that's just one, yeah. Sometimes there are secrets of the ancestors or secrets between the parents that we also get to find out. We don't look at the secret. What was the secret? We don't actually get into that because, as we said earlier, it's none of our business. But we just acknowledge that there is a secret there and there's a business between our parents. And what we say is like, dear father, mother, your business with each other is none of my business. Yeah. What happens between the two of you is none of my business. And any loyalty that I have taken from you, any grief, any anger towards your father or anybody else, I give it back to you. And when we give back to them, we give it back to them with love and compassion. Yeah. No judgment, no anger. A lot of times when children are not able to give back willingly, or with an open heart, because sometimes our parents probably have caused a lot of hurt. There are some parents who have exhibited toxic traits, and children have like lived in toxic environments. So it's very hard for these clients to be able to acknowledge their parents, yeah, especially if they really were in pain and they suffered a lot from this unhealthy dynamics with the parents. So what we say is like, I'm willing to open my heart to you, mother, father, and the best thing to do is just to acknowledge that our parents have given us life, and that in itself we cannot give back to them, and it's something that can give back, but not to them, but as parents ourselves, that's actually one way to give back to our parents is having our own children. Yeah, only then we can be in balance as well. So I'm not saying that if you are single, you're not able to balance that. But what I'm saying is that in order to restore the dynamics of good relationship and harmony with your parents, just need to acknowledge that they have given you life. And one of the sentences is, thank you for the life that you have given me. And for whatever it has cost me, I take it. Yeah. And I vow to make something beautiful out of that life. And that restores order. So how do we conduct this family constellation? There's a Netflix series which is called Another Self. You can watch that. You can just check it out because they talk a lot about the movie is all about family constellation. So in individual session, we speak to the clients. We ask. So if I'm the facilitator, I would ask, what is it something that you wish to look at? Maybe the client would say, yeah, I'm not seeing my partner eye to eye, yeah, and I would like to restore balance in my relationship with my partner. And so what I'll do is I will choose the client and I will choose the other person as the partner. And so for individual session, sometimes I use dolls, sometimes I use paper. It doesn't matter. You can use crystals, you can use glasses, whatever you have, just to basically represent the elements in the field. And when I say the field, it just could be the floor, it could just be the table. Yeah. So there's one principle also that we have in family constellation, which is we carry the knowing field. The knowing field is like the book of all memories, actions, all the stories of our ancestors. It's all stored in our DNA. So when we set an intention to look at a certain dynamics, the energy is in us, in the client himself, and I just guide them to how to be able to access those dynamics from the client. Yeah, so using dolls, papers, crystals, stones, whatever you can think of that can represent. A lot of times I do sessions through phone. and I don't even use papers, yeah, because I'm trained as a hypnotherapist. So I just take them in their mind and I just tell them, imagine that your father is in front of you, and that's equally effective. We have, so we can do individual sessions online. I find it very effective. We don't have to be seeing each other on site. Can be equally effective, as I said, through phone, Zoom, and on site as well. And then we do the group constellation. Yeah. So for the group constellation, the difference with the individual one is that for the group constellation, the elements are represented by people in the field. So these are people who are coming for the group session. And a lot of times they don't know each other. It's actually better when people do not know each other, so that your conscious mind is not working and you're not analyzing, oh, my friend, I know her mother is like this, she's very toxic towards her. No, we don't like that. And sometimes even if friends do come for group constellation, I'm able to manage that, yeah, because I'm trained to to pick up those cues, yeah. And we use a lot of feelings or sensations in the body. Believe me, even if you tell yourself you are not intuitive, you will be able to feel the energy of the elements in the field, which is basically if I'm asking you to feel the energy of the partner, you will get to feel it. And then also for individual session, I myself as a facilitator can also help. And a lot of times I check if the feelings that you have felt are valid or are correct, because I myself do the feeling for those elements, yeah. So we get to compare it and ask client, does this emotions, feeling, sometimes there are like weird movements of the body. um I basically confirm it with the client if it resonates with them. And in most cases I do not say who is who. So if it's paper, I just number it as 1 and 2, and then I just write somewhere, or I just take note in my mind, like 1 is the client and 2 is the partner, for example. Yeah. And then I just ask the client, okay, feel the energy of 1, now feel the energy of 2. And then sometimes when they start feeling those energies, they can actually tell me, okay, is this me because I feel this way? Is this my husband because he exhibits these emotions? Or even the bodily mannerisms can be picked up as well. And sometimes we do abstract. When I say abstract, so if you're looking at a job, for example, why is the client not manifesting a job? So maybe I can put, depending on the story of the client, I'll put the client and the potential job. Yeah. And then I would see the dynamic. Why is the job not coming? Sometimes it's not even looking at the client. So how can the client attract this job, And sometimes this job can be can manifest as a family member, or it could be an employer, a previous employer, which is not allowing. Yeah, it could be previous employer, or anybody can come up. Yeah, so I cannot really say or assume who is gonna come up for that abstract element. Sometimes we put the emotions as well. For example, a client goes through a lot of sorrow, and so she comes to me and understand, why, Vida, I'm feeling so much of this, and it doesn't leave me. So I choose the element, the client, and then the sorrow. And a lot of times, at all times, thank you so much, Josiah. So a lot of times, that sorrow becomes the mother. It could be an inner child as well, So I cannot really assume anything in the in the constellation. A lot of times when I start talking to the client, I pick up a lot of things already, but I don't assume. So basically, I come with an empty mind. Yeah, I come with a lot of knowledge, and I just put them in the ground. Okay, and because I allow the field to come up with whatever needs to be highlighted or shown. And so what else is there for illnesses? If you are feeling discomfort in the body, for example, you have this irrational pain on the knee, regardless of what you do, and the number of times you go and see a doctor, you know, I mean, it gets better and then it acts up again. So we can look at the reason why that is acting up. So a lot of times it comes up as a family member. So there's a lot of things that we can do in family constellation. There's a lot of things I'd like to say as well, but those are basically the basic ones. Yeah. So we've been in this session for an hour. I would like to ask you for any question that you have. So because I wanna do one session with you to benefit you at least for the session. So I'm opening the the floor for any question that you have, any concern. Anybody? Okay. Is everything clear? I know it's a lot of things to take, especially for those people who just heard it today. And as I said, you know, I mean, I highly recommend that you experience the session to know the beauty of it. Yeah. I mean, the shift really happens. So even if the client does not feel anything at that point in time, you know, anything that you experience, the subconscious mind experiences it. Yeah. So whatever the subconscious mind sees, whatever you see, you cannot unsee. It just stays there in the subconscious mind. Yeah. And so when you start the healing, it's just it goes on. Yeah. Sometimes the healing happens instantly. And sometimes it takes days, weeks, months, and years as well. I have one issue in my life where I have been healing it for since I found out about it for the last 1 year. But each time that I do a session for that issue, I get to discover other layers of that situation or issue. Yeah. So I know it's not fully resolved, but you know, by layer, it gets resolved. And it also resolves other things in my life related to that I have never seen in the past. Okay, are you still okay? Can you just do a thumbs up, a smiley, whatever? uh yeah, I know Z, you are multitasking, so that's all right. Sabrina, would you like to say something?
Oh, I just said that was really good. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Have you got any question? Any curiosity?
Um, no, I think I need to absorb this. And you said that it was recorded, right?
Yeah, you can always call me, you know, and you know, I give free clarity calls.
Listening to this, you kind of when it's an online thing, it's harder to absorb, and sometimes you have to re-listen to it again to then understand more.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd like to do one exercise. Are you okay to do that? I don't. Are you okay to experience something? So what I do in my family constellation is because I do other modalities as well. Yeah. So every facilitator of family constellation uh does the constellation differently. So I like integrating family constellation with inner child healing, with Theta Healing. By the way, I only work with the energy of the creator. Okay. I mean, God's, Allah, it doesn't matter who you believe in, but as I said earlier, yeah, so I'm not the healer here. It's your own soul contract. Okay, I have a question. Yeah. So do we avoid discussion of personal matters with children of any age? So I find that I think we need to be sensitive about what we share to our children. Yeah. Because it bothers them, especially if they're not able to do anything about it. I think we shouldn't share it with them. maybe like for example, those relationship issues that every now and then I would have, and because I'm living with my daughter is living with me, sometimes I use her as my best friend, and I have to remind myself that no, you know what? And sometimes I slip and I tell her of things, but then immediately I tell her also when the issue is resolved, I tell her, you know what, I'm just this is already fully resolved. So we're not able to avoid it, yeah, but as much as possible, just avoid passing on emotional dump to our children. Yeah, because they don't deserve it. Find somebody, call your friend and say, can I just rant, right? And tell them. Financial concerns, if the issue is relating to children, like maybe trying to help you to cut on costs, yeah, you can explain it to them, the importance of saving, but burdening them with something that they're not able to help, I would advise not. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're being secretive, but just be mindful about what you share with your children, especially if they're of young age. By the way, if they're of young age, they will not be able to understand anyway, right? So anything else? So you want to have a 2-minute break, just get some water, stand up, go to the loo. It's all right. Okay. So anybody wanting to go to the loo for a while, but I can wait. Nobody? So we can just move on, right? Okay. So can you all be in a relaxed state? I mean, whoever can be with me right now. Uh, you can sit, you can put your feet on the ground, you can also lie down. Uh, that's okay. Nina, that's all right. Thank you so much. So I did a poll on yeah, in the Soul Circle group, right? And I think from there I've seen that most of the people wanted to address their wounding from the father. So I'm not able, I don't think I'll be able to do the full constellation, but I want to do like a mini one just for you to take away. And usually when I do constellation, I only look at one issue at a time. Yeah. There was one lady who I had the session 2 days ago, and I did like a 2-hour session, and I felt like it was very heavy, but I also felt that she was so ready for it. Yeah. And of course, I had to guide her. And after that, I called her in the next day also, and I told her what she supposed to expect. Yeah. As expected, she had like flu-like symptoms. And I just told her that it's okay. She shouldn't be worried about it. Yeah. But because this is energy work, um, we may not see the energy, we may not feel it, but it is there, and sometimes it can be heavy. Okay. So I just want you to you can lie down, you can sit and just close your eyes. Yeah. And I want you to take a few deep breaths. And whenever you breathe in, just affirm to yourself that I'm allowing myself to receive whatever is for my highest, easiest, and best. And I'm allowing myself to see what needs to be seen. And when I breathe out, I'm giving the permission, or I'm allowing myself to release whatever it is that's not serving my highest, easiest, and best. I want you all, each one of you, to set an intention for yourself and to release whatever expectation that you have. Yeah. Set your intention and release it. When I say release it, just trust that whatever needs to happen, it's going to happen today. And I want you to all to know that you're all awake Okay, at any point in time, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe, which I would doubt, you can just open your eyes. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You can know because you are in full control of this session. I just wish to guide you and take the benefit of whatever we can do for today. Okay. That's all right. Thank you so much. So just continue breathing in and out. Now I want you to imagine or visualize or pretend that you are on top of a staircase. And this staircase is very safe. It's well lit. It has sturdy or strong handrails, okay? It has 20 steps going down. So the staircase is a metaphor to go deep down into your subconscious mind. And you know that you are always safe to go into your subconscious mind. I am here. You can always open your eyes and nothing is going to happen to you. It's just that you will not get the benefit of the session. But at any point in time, you can always open your eyes and you are always in control. So once again, I want you to visualize, imagine, or pretend that you are on top of the staircase. Yeah. So once you feel that you are on top of the staircase, I will ask you to go down the stairs, but not as yet. Okay, so let me just explain to you what is going to happen. So when I ask you to go down the staircase, you will go down the staircase. Once you reach the bottom of the staircase, 20 steps going down, you will find a corridor, yeah, in front of you. You'll find a corridor that leads to a door. The door has a doorknob. So this door is a door to a safe space. It could be a safe room. It could even be a door to the beach, yeah. And I want you to imagine, create this safe space. If you've never felt or you do not have any space which made you feel safe and protected, you can create this room. It's a magical room. It has everything that you needed in it. When you get into this safe space, this room, it is actually bare. Yeah, it's empty. Ideally, it's empty, but anything that you need, you can always find it there. Yeah, because it's a magical room. Anything that you can imagine, you can make it into reality. And this room has a window wherein the light can come in. Okay. And I would like you to think that this light is the light of the sun or the sun, the light of the divine energy. Okay. And it's always there to protect you, to transform any negative energy if there is. But I will all guide you to here. Okay. And so right now on top of a staircase, just allow yourself to meet one of your parents. So just give me a few moments and just reflect on it a bit. So let's work on your father. And I'll feel if we are guided to do other things as well. Okay? So you ready to go to go down the staircase? In the count of 3, I want you to go down the staircase. I will do the count. And in the count of 3, you will start with your left foot first. Go down the staircase. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you have reached the bottom of the staircase. Yeah, so just look around and you will see that there's a corridor that leads to a door. a door where it's gonna be a safe space for you. Now I want you to walk towards the corridor, yeah, and I want to give you time to do that. Just walk towards the corridor, towards this safe space or this room of your choice. It could be your bedroom, it could be your living room, anywhere where you have felt safe and protected, and you are always in full control. As I said, you can always create your own space in your own mind. Now, I want you to open the door. Yeah, in the count of 5, you will open the door. You'll put your hand on the doorknob, open the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're inside the door, the room, and just close the door behind you. And I want you to look around this space. Remember, it's a safe space. There's enough room. Know that it's safe and you are always protected. Now that you are inside this room, your own safe space, outside the door is your father. Now, it doesn't matter if your father is still alive or passed away. You just allow the energy of your father to come inside the room. To open the door, allow your father to come in and close the door behind you. You can offer your father to sit down, or it can be that you're standing next to each other or facing. Now, I give you time to speak to your father. You can communicate with him anything that you feel. This will help you to release whatever repressed emotions you have towards your father. If you are missing your father, say that. If you are feeling angry, it's okay. But I want you to express yourself towards your father and visualize your father just listening to you with so much love. And I will give you a few moments to do this. And I want to remind you, you can just open your mouth when you're breathing out and allow any strong emotions to come out through your mouth. If you wish to hug your father, you can also do that in your mind. It does not matter if you see him or feel him. Know that he is in front of you, listening to you. Now I'll give you another 10 seconds before we proceed, because I want to guide you to say things to your father. Now, I want you to look at your father in the eye, in his eye, and tell him, "Thank you, Father. Thank you for the life that you have given me. I take this life for whatever it has cost you." And if you are alone, I want you to say it verbally or feel these words in your body. Thank you, Father, for my life, for the life that you have given me. I take this life and I take your love as it is, for whatever it has cost you, for whatever it has cost me. I will make something beautiful out of it. Father, I bow down and respect your faith and your journey. And now imagine yourself being small and say, "Father, I'm just a child and you are big. Now, ladies, I want you to remember, if you are aware of any loyalty, any experience that you took from your father for you to carry, or that you have been carrying all your life, that belongs to your father. Maybe you became the father yourself when your father left, or maybe the father was emotionally unavailable. So you took the role as a father to your mother. And when you did that, you became the husband. And maybe that's affecting you in your relationship, in finding a partner. Or perhaps it's affecting you in your dynamics with your spouse or your partner. Maybe your father had difficulties in his jobs, in his life, any suffering that he endured. Maybe there is repressed sadness any issue or problem your father had, and you feel that you have taken it upon yourself for your love and loyalty to your father, I want you to give it back to your father. And just say, Father, whatever I have carried, which belongs to you, whether I know it consciously or not, I give it back to you with love. And imagine there's a divine white light outside the window. In fact, on top of the ceiling, if you just look up, there's another light there. Light is everywhere. It's the light of the creator of all that is. Regardless of what you believe in, there is a supreme being who or which have created each one of us. So you can even give back whatever is this that you took from your father. Give it back to the light. And it's all right. And you can imagine the could be specks of dust. It could be whatever it is that's, could be a light, could be energy that's coming out from you that goes to the white light. Or if you wish to give it back to your father itself, give it back to the father. And I want you to continue bowing down to your father, regardless to whoever you give whatever does not belong to you. Just say, I am just a child. I cannot continue carrying this anymore. It's heavy, a burden for me. Now, ladies, it is up to your free will if you want to give it up or if you want to keep it. Only when you wish to give it back to your father, whatever it is that you took from him, give it up with love. And imagine your father happily accepting it from you. And visualize, imagine, pretend that your father is telling you, I accept it. Whether he receives it directly or it goes to the light, it does not matter. Now, outside the door, just go and open the door and you will find the parents of your father standing outside the door with your father's siblings, with your father's grandparents. In fact, all your ancestors, all your family members, everybody who belongs in your family system, from your father's side, they're all standing outside the door. Imagine all of them looking at you with so much love and blessing. And I just want you to imagine looking at them, each one of them, in the eye, and bowing yourself before them, because you are just a child and you're small and they're big. I just want you to feel the love and blessings from them. And bow down with respect towards them. And if you can say, I see you, I see each and every one of you. I give each one of you, I acknowledge that you have a rightful place in our system. Because remember, you are just a child. And you can only acknowledge but not give. Then go back to where your father is. And just visualize, imagine, and pretend that your father is getting all the support that he needs from his parents. It doesn't matter if they're outside the door. And I want you to look outside and bow down and just say, I see each one of you. And I respect your journey and your faith. Whatever I have carried on your behalf, maybe you will see an ancestor coming in front of you. Maybe that ancestor or family member is the one you took the loyalty from. It doesn't matter. You don't have to see the specific ancestor. So just say the intention. Dear grandparents, uncles, aunties, all of you, my ancestors. Whatever I have taken from you for love and loyalty, I give it back to you because it does not belong to me. And I am just a child. I gave it back to you with love. It is not mine to carry. And if you suddenly see some members who are arguing with each other, just say, dear ancestors, whatever is between you, whatever is your business, it's none of my business. I remain as a child. And now, in front of your father and your ancestors, I want you to extend your hand, like asking, and say, please, please. And in the act of receiving, say, please. Please look at me kindly, or please look at me with kindness and favor. If I have the courage to live longer, to be happier, to fall in love, to be in love, to be more abundant, to be healthier, to be happier. Please, please look at me kindly and with love and favor. If I have the courage to move forward in my life, to live my life the way I would like it to live, I only take your love and blessing, all the values and learnings from your experiences. Anything that is not mine, I give it back to you because I'm just a child. And thank you. Thank you for all this love and blessing. I honor each and every one of you by living my life to the fullest. And from now on, as of now, as of today, I vow to live my life to the fullest in honor of each one of you. Now I would like you to imagine the white light shining brightly from all the places, all the corners of the room, coming from the top, from above, the ceiling, from outside, from the windows, shining brightly, transmuting any lingering negative emotion or heavy emotions, cleansing, healing, giving each and every one of you, especially you, clarity and awareness that you need. Feel really, really good. And imagine this white light radiating, penetrating in every cell and every part of your body, making you feel so loved, so guided, protected, and knowing that you have the full love and blessings and support of your father and all your ancestors from your father's side. And whatever void that has been created from giving back whatever roles or loyalties that you gave back to your father and ancestors, I want you to imagine or set the intention to the white light or ask the divine creator, God, to replace it with whatever it is that you desire in your heart. And with gratitude, just accept all these beautiful downloads, especially of divine unconditional love from the creator of all that is. And I want you to spend a few more moments and thank everyone. Thank the creator, the white light, your father, your ancestors. And you can allow them to go outside the room. And now you're ready to come back to the here and now. So I want you to leave the room, close the door behind you, go back to the corridor. Don't worry, you can always come back to this room, even if by yourself. And you can call any ancestor, any parent, or any person that you wish to talk to. But for now, we have to come back in the here and now. So I want you to leave the room, close the door behind you, walk along the corridor towards the staircase, and I will count you back from 1 to 20, starting with your right foot, go up the staircase. Once again, it has sturdy handrails, very well lit, and you're very safe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now you're on top of the staircase. Now I want you to call all your consciousness back to you. Just say, all my consciousness. I'm calling all my consciousness back to me, fully integrated in my physical body right now. I'm calling all my consciousness back to me in my physical body right now. I'm calling all my consciousness back to me in my physical body right now. And in the count of 5, you will be wide awake, fully awake, eyes wide open. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Eyes open, wide awake. So welcome back. Are you all back now? Can I just, may I just know that you are back? Thank you, Haj. Thank you, Charles. Z. Thank you, Sabrina. So do you have any questions that you would like to ask about the experience? Ideally, I don't discuss the sessions with the clients, but just for your understanding, it's okay. You can ask me. You can also ask me later on. And it's all right. Okay, thanks. I think we'll close the session now. If you don't have any more questions. So I want to thank everyone. Cheryl, you wish to say something?
Yeah, actually it was quite intense. It was quite intense.
Yeah.
But I feel a bit relieved also. I think I had a lot of because my father has passed away, and growing up, I never really had a very good relationship with him.
Yeah.
So I think all the stuck emotions kind of, came up. Yeah, but it was good.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl.
Thank you.
So much.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you can do the same thing for your mother. So this is not the full constellation, it's just a part of it. So
Okay.
just because I cannot discuss individually what your concerns are, right? But this is just one, this is just like a flavor of the things that I do in family constellation. And as I mentioned, I inject a lot of hypnotherapy. There's like hypnotherapy techniques there. So I mix up hypnotherapy with family constellations, with Theta Healing, also asking the creator, the divine white light, to transmute any negative energies. Why not, right? I mean, everything is available for us, so might as well use it. So thank you so much. If you don't have
Thank you.
any questions, God bless you all, and thank you for coming. Okay.
Thank you. I'll be in touch with you because I might want to ask you a few things, but I'll message you separately. Yeah.
Yeah. Please do that.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you
Vida.
so much. Thank you, Charles.
Thanks.
Thank you, and bye for now. Thank you so
Bye.
much.